Hi, how you doing? How you be? Top to the AB in gaming news. Also, apologies for being a little bit late, but in gaming news, Lego Sonic the Hedgehog actually has a video game as well as Rayman Universe right after this. If I press the right button, it'd be great. Hold on, press the wrong button. Hi, I'm Anthony, and if you are new here, consider subscribing. We actually troubleshoot and help people with their technical issues and PC gaming issues, and subscribing will help us grow the channel and help more people. Thanks. Forum, how you doing? How you be? Top to the AB. Hope everybody had a good day at work. Hope everybody had a good day at school and or other. My name is Anthony, or TheOpenForum, and we are gaming adjacent. Essentially, we help people with their technical issues, PC issues, gaming issues, and oh my god, this headset is driving me crazy. Okay, cool. There we go. Okay, I was just making sure that y'all didn't hear anything in the background, but hope everybody had a good day. Without further ado, we can start helping some people after we talk about some video games. Hooray! So there is a game that actually launched yesterday. I think it's called, I couldn't remember the name of it. As I was getting ready, I started to run out of time, but we're probably checking on it tomorrow just to make sure. Actually, I can probably find it on Steam. Actually, let's just check real quick just to make sure. Which one has Steam up? Is it Windows 10 or Windows 11? Windows 11? Windows 11. All right, so let's see here. Windows 11. What is the name of that new? I think it's like Ash or something. Something with Ash in it. War Tales, Jedi Survivors, not out yet. Not Dead by Daylight. It seemed like a lot of people liked it. I saw some people playing it, but I can't remember the name. It was something with Ash in it. Actually, you know what? It's probably easier if we just go down to the bottom and try to find it. Okay, yeah, just go new desktop dungeons. Okay, let's see. Beyond the Light, no. Breachers, no. War Tales, no. I don't remember called War Tales. Wow, how many games do they release in a day? It's a little obsessive, but okay, sure. Okay, well, I guess I'll try to hunt it down later, but it was something. I can't remember the name of it though, but we'll take a look at it just to make sure nobody's having any technical issues, or, you know, I mean, it'd be like a million. It's like a million people talking, so I mean, we can only answer so much, right? But we can at least help if they are having questions, but we'll take a look at it tomorrow. I think we'll be fine. Is it this? No, that's Final Fantasy Origin. No. It was some game. I saw somebody playing it. I can't remember, but oh well, it's fine. It's not that big a deal. We'll let it go. I'll let it go. All right, and on to our first topic, which is, as soon as I open up internet and go back, Lego Sonic the Hedgehog sets announced. Okay, it said set. I thought it meant series, like it's a video game, but apparently it may just be a Lego set. So if it is, I do apologize, but apparently we're talking about toys right now.
The new LEGO Sonic collaboration featuring the iconic blue hedgehog, Sonic.
Oh, hey, make sure to mention how amazing my sets are.
Please don't interrupt me.
My bad.
C is Sonic.
DJs.
Yes, and
Eats chili dogs.
Yep, and uses the speed sphere to go really fast.
Hi.
What?
I think you need to emphasize how fast I am.
I said you went really fast.
Yeah, but I go really, really fast.
You want me to say really, really fast?
Actually, say really, really, really fast.
C is the speed sphere goes really, really, really.
Ooh, could you add awesome before speed sphere?
Any other requests?
No, you're doing great.
C is the awesome speed sphere goes really, really, really fast.
It makes noise too.
Visit Sonic's fast friend Tails in his workshop with his iconic tornado plane.
Time to do the barrel roll, Tails. Ho-ho-ho!
Now let's head to Amy Rose's Animal Rescue Island.
Amy with her trusty hammer.
Hey Sonic,
Yes, Mr. Sky Voice?
if you're really so fast, try and beat me to the Green Hill Zone Loop Challenge. Yes, gotcha Sonic. Who's fast now? Now we can take our time admiring this nice loop-de-loop and nice ring bit.
Turn around.
How did you get in here?
I told ya, I'm really, really, really fast.
And I am really, really, really upset. snubbed from the product reveal at Am I Rodent? You'll regret this too, Lego Company.
Well, oh boy, here we go.
What did we just watch? I thought it was a video game. Apparently they're toys and I kind of want it. But outside of that, I don't even know what I do with it. But, you know, I can make it, I don't know, put it in cases like everybody else, I guess. But yeah, Sonic is a Lego. I don't know if he ever was a Lego, but I do know that he is one now. Available in stores near you. I don't even know. I thought it was a Lego's Sonic video game, like a Lego Batman, but I was wrong. The set part probably should have given it away, but I didn't know why it would be on GameSpot unless GameSpot was doing video games. But okay, whatever. That's a thing. Okay, this one looks like a game. I think I did this one right.
Every Rayman's game must be a surprise. Just because the first one was a surprise.
Rayman showed me that creativity and the freshness were really well received in the industry.
À 24 ans, le jeune homme a déjà conçu un hit mondial, 750 000 exemplaires vendus des aventures de Rayman, un petit personnage tout droit sorti de son imagination.
In 1995, it was just a cute two-dimensional little bugger designed for the Atari Jaguar. And now Rayman has firmly staked its claim as one of Ubisoft's most beloved characters and acclaimed franchises.
It's really what we were waiting for the people, just
Despite having no arms and legs, Rayman has a special place in our hearts. Rayman is huge.
Rayman is Ubisoft.
Some weapons, 3 minutes. One rule. Always the panic, it's just a cat. No one escapes the break with a sword. Go back, Hakeem. That's exactly what we need.
The primordial forest witnessed the birth of Rayman.
The Glade of Dreams is in danger. Wake up our legendary hero.
Rayman, to the rescue.
Okay, well, that was Rayman. I'm not sure, Rayman Universe. I'm not sure if it's just all the games collected into one, because you saw a little bit of Rayman Origins, Rayman 2, 3, so on and so forth. I only played Rayman Origins, but I didn't even play for that long. I never really got a chance to actually get into the Rayman series. I'm more of a Sonic and or Mario and or Link kind of guy, and or what's his name? Gerald. But that's kind of how I always rolled. But I always wanted to go back and play Rayman. I still have the game. I just haven't had a chance to actually play it yet. But yeah, Rayman Universe, A Spark of Hope, coming in theaters near you, to a console near you. But in any event, let's get on with helping some people. Alrighty, and the game we're gonna be doing, I actually have some new footage from Call of Duty. Oh, so no, from Overwatch, yeah. So let me make sure that this is the new Overwatch footage. Yes, it is. Okay, so this is some new Overwatch footage. I'll add some more. I actually was thinking about adding Hogwarts, but I gotta play it over the weekend in order to add it as the content and then edit it. So it takes a little bit for me to actually switch between games, but we'll have by the time we're done, I imagine that we'll probably have like 30 or 40 games that we'll switch between. And as the channel grows, people can request different games for me to switch to. Like, for example, if you want to watch, you know, whatever new game is out and I've played it and I already have it, I can just press the button and we can switch to it. Those kind of situations. That's a bad look. But I think why my Czar was so pressured by an Orisa is because I think they were running double tank on this, and the other tank countered Czar, so it put me in a bad spot. But yeah, in any event. Alrighty, so first one up here is, what are your expectations for this game, Jedi Survivor? So if anybody's ever played the first Jedi game, it was really good. It was really good, especially, okay, so me personally, one of the actual MMOs that I used to play is SWTOR, so Star Wars The Old Republic. I played for a very, very long time. I was actually a Nightmare Raider, so basically I played at the highest level in SWTOR. So my actual introduction to Star Wars was through the MMO. I never actually got into Star Wars until I started playing the MMO. And then I went back and watched all the movies because I felt stupid. They'd be like, how do you not know who these characters are? And the story is so big in Star Wars The Old Republic. So me personally, that's really where my experiences come from. Now, when it comes to Jedi Survivor and its predecessor, those games have been very, very good. It gives you kind of the story and feel of the MMO. And that's what it reminds me of. Now, of course, you don't have a companion in the first one, and you have a companion in your MMOs, and you have several companions. But I always liked the game. I liked the ending. It was a nice little twist and stuff like that. So overall, I always thought it was a really good game. So because of that, I'm also excited about this game, because so far, this Star Wars franchise has not let me down. There are some little things that I would consider lackluster, but I never thought that the actual system let me down. Alrighty. I don't even think that's worth answering. I'm sure everybody else. Just give me fast travel back to the ship, then we're good. Oh yeah, that's true too. So every time you went on a mission, you had to walk all the way back. Now, they did give you shortcuts on the way back, so it's kind of like you go in a circle. But yeah, it would be nice if you could just travel right back to the ship. That would be awesome. Alrighty, so no. So we'll just say your Uncle Pi. So your Uncle Pi says, extract OneNote synced on your phone. I think that's how you say it. Hi guys, I hope I can challenge you with something I have been struggling with for a long time. I created a OneNote book on my what used to be laptop. It was synced to my school account, but the minute I left, they closed my access to it and said they refused to enable it for my notes, as it was an automated process. The thing is now, how do I get my notes out? I can still see them even though it's out of sync. I tried TeamViewer and then copy paste, but alas, okay, but alas, I'm guessing it didn't work. All right, so he can see them, though it is out of sync. Well, if you can see them, you should be able to extract the books. You just can't update the books. So all you would do, I can show this. I can show this because we have OneNote as a link. Let me make sure that this is safe. Hold on one second. Let me make sure this is safe. Is this safe? Just making sure. Hold on. Yeah, I think this is safe. It's safe enough. It's safe enough. Okay, so OneNote, right? So what you can do in OneNote is at the top right hand corner, you can just right click here and there should be an option. So he can't sync in his particular situation. He can't sync. Now he can share. He should be able to share his notebook with himself. Or maybe copy this link to the, no, let me think about that. I don't know if that would work. So if you, y'all can't even see that. What's going on? That's weird. You can't see when I click on something? If I right click? No, you can't. Oh, okay. Well, essentially all I did was right click. My options are sync this notebook now, notebook sync status, share this notebook, copy link to notebook, move up properties, and close this notebook. Those are my options. So essentially he has a notebook with a lot of information in it, and all he's trying to do is get what he has currently and move it over to something else. So my original option is to go ahead and try to share it with himself, and that may allow him to get that information and move it over. But if he has access to view it, he may just be better off just copying and pasting the individual sections. So for example, if he was to, or y'all see that, no, writing paper, we'll do that. So if we were to right click on this here, if we were to right click on here and do export, that will do it. So basically all you have to do is go down to your sections and right click and then go to export. Can y'all see when I even click on it? No. So you can't actually see the actual individual sections. However, if you were to right click on it on the actual section, you actually have the option to move, copy, or merge, or export. So essentially you would just export out the individual sections of the notebooks that you're referring to. So that's essentially how you would do it. So, okay. All right, so now that we know how to do this, let's go ahead and go back and let our friend here know. So since you can still see them, just not update them, I would say to try and right click on the individual sections and hit export and move them to whatever location you want them. I do want to say, do you have access to log in and see them still, or has it also been revoked? So we just got to ask this just to make sure, because it may be one of those situations where he may have originally had access, but he didn't know exactly how to move over the stuff. So now he may have lost access because it just happened. You know what I mean? So it's better to go ahead and ask just to be on the safe side. And I'm hot, so let me turn on this AC real quick. Alrighty, so but yeah, that's what I would say for this one here. Let me scroll down to the bottom here. Let me do one quick test just to make sure everything is good here, because I used the same one and it didn't update it. Okay, cool. So that looks good. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go to our next one here. Alrighty, so the next one is from, oh, okay, so this is from Yutzi, or whatever, however you want to say that, UTY. He says, what is your favorite type of game? FPS games, story games, sports games, or other? So throughout the years, I've had different types of games. It's always as my favorites. It's always changed. Sports, no, I don't actually like any type of sports video game. I don't know why, but I've never gotten into NBA 2K or My Character or My Creator, whatever it's called. I've never gotten into the NFL, even though I've played it both, but I've never gotten into the actual video game themselves. Story and FPS are pretty much how I roll. I don't know what you would classify Dark Souls as. I would say the most consistent game that I've played since the beginning is probably the Dark Souls series, and every iteration within that. So that would be other. That would probably be other. I do like FPS or first-person shooters. I don't like them as much as I like, okay, I bought the PS5 because of Demon Souls. I can't say I would buy the PS5 for Call of Duty or Overwatch or Overwatch 2 or Valorant or CSGO or any of those type of games. I just cannot say that I would do that. Or you could even throw Destiny 2 in there. I just don't see myself buying a PS5 just for that one reason. I like Bastion on Flower Petals. He's really good there. But that was my vote. Oh, my bad. My mic is over my keyboard. Whatever. Oh, sorry. Whatever category you call the Dark Souls franchise is what I like these days. Any of those type of games I'm always into. So that's going to be your Neos. There's a new one that came out on PS5, but I haven't had a chance to play it. There's so many in that genre now that it's hard for me to actually keep up, because that was stupid. Oh, no, that wasn't stupid. That was actually him getting charged off. Oh, that happens. But I do that all the time too. But I don't actually fall off the cliff. I think that part was the part that I was thinking was stupid, because you could have just stopped yourself, but whatever. But that's what I would say. A lot of people say story games over FPS. Yeah, story games, I guess you can call Demon Souls and Dark Souls a story game, but I think it's a little bit more than that, even though their story is always excellent. But I think of that series as more than a story game. I think that they're their own brand at this point. Alrighty, so this is from Royal I Don't Know. This is a repeat. He said, can't connect Xbox One S controller to gaming PC. And he said he couldn't connect his controller with the USB. Okay, so are you plugging it into a front port or a rear port to his gaming PC? And I said, swap it, see if it works. He says, yes, I tried all that, still nothing works. And I said, okay, well, what happens if you pair your Xbox controller with your phone via Bluetooth? Does this work? Does the Xbox controller work when paired to the Xbox itself? He said, hey, I figured it out. Turns out I was using a USB cable that was working but wasn't Xbox compatible. I'm using an Xbox compatible USB cable and it's solved. Thanks for helping though. Okay, so he had a bad cable. Did it ever say change the cable? Okay, so you are plugging into a front port or rear port, depending on which one, try to swap it out and try the other. Also, is it going to a USB 3 header or a 2 header? Also, could you try a different USB cable? Let us know how it goes. Yeah, so this is not an L because we told him to try a different cable. And his fix was he found a different cable. So that is actually a win. But we'll let him think that we lost. I'll let you think we lost, but in reality, we won. That was the very first thing that we said, sir. No problem. Let us know if you have any technical issues in the future, whatever they may be. Wherever they may be. And let's go ahead and do our lovely little shameless plug here. Now that I was showing everybody OneNote, now all my stuff is all messed up. Give me 1 second here. Copy, and let's go back here. And let's do a paste as plain text. Alrighty, so that is a W. Thank you very much. I appreciate the confetti. I want to thank the forum. Without it, it wouldn't be possible. And I'm glad we were able to help our friend, even though he doesn't think that we did. We 100% did. I don't care what he says. But without further ado, let's go to our next one here. But I am happy that you were at least able to get that going, my bro. Alrighty, next one here is Discord mod Memento. Windows and phone are connected to same Wi-Fi. It can access messages and everything, but can't access apps on or my phone screen because they aren't connected to the same Wi-Fi. Okay, let me say that properly. Windows and phone are connected to the same Wi-Fi. It can access messages and everything, but can't access apps or my phone screen because they aren't connected to the same Wi-Fi. Hi, I'm using Phone Link to avoid having to turn on my phone repeatedly, and so I can stay focused on my PC, and while messages, calls, and photos work fine, whenever I try apps or phone screen, they show a screen that says cannot connect to the same Wi-Fi. To use a different feature I'm using on your PC, make sure your Android device is connected. I have no idea why this is happening. Okay, so we are talking about a particular software, and what did you name say the software was? Okay, so Phone Link. Let's see what this is real quick. Okay, use your phone as an app developed by blah, 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 blah. Sync your phone to your computer. Okay, so we're talking about an application here. Okay, are there, oh, you can't see that, I'm so sorry. Are there any updates for the application itself? When did this start? What happens if you uninstall the application, then reinstall it? Does it make a difference? Also, be sure to reboot your PC because we're not taking an L for that. Ain't nobody got time to take an L for that. So also be sure to reboot your PC. All right. So yeah, Discord mod, man, keep us posted. All right, group 1, all done. Let's go ahead and move on to group 2. Make sure everything's good there. Yeah, everything's good. All right, so we're back on the Xbox, and speaking of Xbox, let me actually start turning these guys on because I have a feeling I'm gonna need them. Okay, Xbox, how do I fix this? Okay. Oh, okay, I remember this. This is that repeat from a while ago. We've been going back and forth on this one here. Okay, and he said, I'll post a video on the Xbox Series X to see what's happening. So essentially, I think he was getting some type of an error. And I said, okay, so does it generate an error when it kicks you back to the main screen? Can you show us a picture of what happens or a video? So essentially, whenever he goes into Call of Duty, it eventually kicks him out of the main screen. However, it should also be noted that he has internet restrictions, and whatever it was kicking him out, he didn't have all of the packs that you need to download in order to run Call of Duty. I think he only had one. So we were pretty much going back and forth with that. And then I said, okay, thought you are going to post it here, but that works too. Also, how much disk space do you have available? Every time you open the game, it likes to update. So I am thinking you are running low on disk space. You can see this by going to settings, system, disk space. Okay, we'll check that out first. Normally it shouldn't be a problem. Follow my profile for the update. No. You follow my profile. No. How do I counter? Well, we run a live stream and we troubleshoot issues like this every Monday through Thursday. If you message me or message me on any of the open forum platforms, I will be able to see it in the live stream. There we go. That's how you counter. How do you say no without saying no? Now, me trying to follow somebody and then look at their information, that may not work for me. It's easier for me because of the way I see it is if somebody pings me, because if I join somebody and they're talking, I may not come in a way that I can see it. So there's only certain ways that I like to see the information and the data from Reddit, and it makes it a little bit difficult because it may get lost in the shuffle depending on how he sends it to me. That's the reason why I like somebody messaging me before I message them or something along those lines. Alrighty, but no hate, please. I was trying to think if hate can actually be said on this, but no H word, please. Thank you. Keep us posted. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one here. It is from Symmetra, which is a character in Overwatch that we are watching right now. Symmetra writes, headset recognized, audio works, but mic doesn't. My headset's audio is working fine, but the microphone doesn't work all of a sudden. I've made sure that it's not muted. I've set it as my default device, and I've updated all the drivers to no avail. Any help? Sure. What kind of device is it connected to? Is it a PC? Is it a console? Is it a PlayStation 5? Is it an Xbox? What is it? Also, what sure, what kind of device is it connected to? Also, I'm sorry, my mind just went blank. I started thinking about something else and I got angry. I started thinking about a totally different issue and I got upset. Also, what was I talking about? Sure, what kind of device is it connected to? Also, what model headset are you referring to? Y'all ever do that? Like you be working right all along, and then all of a sudden something may happen, and you may think about a situation and something somebody said about a situation, and you get mad, and you get so mad it makes you forget about what you were just doing. That's exactly what just happened. I thought about something, then I got mad, and then I reacted as if I was mad at that person, and that person was there, and I was like, hold on, I'm actually live and then helping people. I don't know. My mind just went to another place and then got angry for some reason. All right, let's go ahead and go back here. All righty. Most embarrassing gaming moment. Oh, that's going to be interesting. I can't remember, but I'll think of it along the way. We have all had them. Those moments where we get lost and the place you need to go is obvious, or you're waiting for something to happen and you forgot to push a button, or maybe it was a death. For me, for people who played the old Pro Evolution soccer games, after you put an offer in for a player, it would pop up with the please wait or something like that. Once I actually sat there waiting, all I had to do was push continue and then advance a few days and see if it got accepted, but I just sat there. What about you guys? Most embarrassing gaming moment? Embarrassing. Where I felt embarrassed. My barrier to entry on being embarrassed is very, very, very high. It takes a lot for me to be embarrassed about something, because I don't know. The older you get, the less you care about embarrassment. Embarrassment is a young man's game. That is not for old people. Old people just don't care. So me personally, when it comes to video games, a game that made me embarrassed, embarrassed to play. I've never been embarrassed to actually play a video game, but I would say there have been situations like, for example, Demon Souls. So, okay. In Demon Souls, generally Dark Souls, the series, there's that first boss that will kill you, right? I think what irked me the most, or what I've messed up with the most, is the fact that I actually got killed by the standard first mob that you see. Like, there was a situation where, what was it? I think it was in Demon Souls, right? So Demon Souls, first you start off and you fight, you know, that guy with the big dragon guy, whatever, right? With the hammer or whatever it was, mace. And then it sends you to the starting area, the starting map. The starting map, there is a guy, just one dude sitting there, and he's meant to teach you the game. That dude has a special where he just charges at you, and he killed me. And this is from a person that has played Demon Souls, or I'm sorry, that's played Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. I played Sekiro. I played obviously Bloodborne, and any combination of that plus Elden Ring. I played all these games, but Demon Souls, I die at the very, very first mob, and I felt really, really bad. We're not even talking about the boss. I've died at that boss plenty of times. We're talking about the first introductory mob right after the boss. That was pretty embarrassing. I felt very stupid. Or, you know, dying to Millennia 100 times, you know, those kind of things. Or I don't know if this is embarrassing, but when you play certain games and like, let's say if you're trying to beat something that's really, really hard. So let's say, you know, Alpha Weapon, what's it, Alpha Weapon? Yeah, Alpha or Omega Weapon or Ruby Weapon. Yeah, it's Ruby Weapon. Ruby Weapon and Omega Weapon or something like that. Or if we're talking about Millennia, or we're talking about the Dragon King, any of those hard bosses, the monkey who flings poo, any of those situations, there have been times where I have been going hard, like over and over again. You kind of keep trying to play it until you can beat the boss, right? But the worst feeling in the world is when you start to regress. So I'll be like, okay, like for example, Sekiro. Sekiro is a prime example. You go against one boss, like for example, that chick that was crying with the helmet on. Oh my God. She only had like 1 bar or maybe even 2 bars. And all she did was destroy me because her movement, it was like she was dancing. Like, so it was very hard to keep track of what she was doing. And like all she was doing is crying for her widow or something like that. And that lady destroyed me. And it'd be like, one time you go after her and you may get her down 1 bar, and the next time you get her down and she like takes like all your health and you're dead. And there's nothing that you can do about it. It's those kind of situations that made me feel very, very dumb. Like you just constantly keep regressing. Like the very first time I fought her, I got her down to like 25% health, and then it never returned. Next time it was 35. Next time it was 45. Next time she had a full life. So it got bad. So yeah, Sekiro, I would probably say takes the crown on a lot of that. But well, it wasn't a PlayStation game, but World of Warcraft. This was back during the Burning Crusade expansion. I had to win a Netherdrake race against Captain Skyshatter as part of unlocking my Netherdrake mount. At the finish line, he used one of his cheap shot spells, and it knocked me off my mount as I was like 2 seconds from winning. I have been trying for hours to beat him. I nerd raged hard and grabbed my wireless keyboard and flung it like a frisbee. It had a weak part of drywall just right and stuck into it after about a 250 repair job. Wow. I've done that before, but that's not embarrassing. That's more so anger. Like for example, whenever I used to run nightmare raids in Swoltor, as we were talking about earlier, if somebody was doing something wrong or they wiped the team, like I would get so angry, like I would like destroy keyboards or like crack screens or something like that. But it's like my anger is like one instant and then all of a sudden it's all gone and then I'm okay. But at the same time, like I may hit my desk and it may do so much damage. Everything shakes, my water falls, my TV messes up, my mount messes up, my TV cracks, everything. You see what I'm saying? Like it does a million different things, but it's just one action. And that usually happens whenever I'm playing very, very high level competitive play. So yeah, or I'll just cut somebody out. So yeah, that happens a lot. I have a sailor mouth. Except for when I'm on this stream, because you know we want to get monetized one day. Oh my goodness, that's a hard L right there. I'd hope the Bastion would have been able to get that ice wall down, but oh well. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. There's no point to really comment on that. Okay, I thought my phone was ringing there. All right, so this is from Sabri. This is a repeat. Sabri writes, a game doesn't start and Xbox makes this noise when the disc is inserted. Sometimes gives me an error, check your disc, although disc looks fine and not scratched. I think this is the one with the video, right? Yeah. So this is the one from yesterday, and there was a video. Essentially, all that was really happening is that you get to hear the sound that it makes. And I can go ahead and play it back for you. We can play it back from here. So essentially, you can't read the disc, right? So that's essentially where we had left off on that one, right? So we say, we agree with the other commentators here. Sounds as if the disc may be faulty or the drive. Do other discs work in this system, or do all discs have this problem? My Xbox 360 disc Call of Duty Black Ops 2 works. Oh, well, I mean, as long as Call of Duty Black Ops works, then you're fine. Just my Xbox One disc won't work. So his Xbox 360 disc works, but his Xbox One doesn't. Well, unfortunately not as, let's see, what else he say? My disk drive makes the same sound, but it works. Okay, whatever. Unfortunately not as the Xbox is 8 years old. You can fix it for like $10. Don't bother going to Microsoft. If disk is fine, drive is bad. Yeah, I would say, why don't you take your Xbox to a GameStop? If you're in the US, there is one, but there are other ones, but they all have different names in different areas. Why don't you take your Xbox to a GameStop and see if they can let you test the same game? Oh no, actually, you know what? Why don't you buy the game used from a GameStop type of store and see if that works. If it does, it's a bad CD or DVD. If it doesn't, then it's your disk drive. Yeah, we'll do that. That's essentially the best way to do it, because we're talking about what game was he playing? I don't think he actually mentioned which game it was specifically that he was playing, but I mean, I would just buy the game used. That way you can return it, because remember, if you buy a game brand new, you can't return that guy. So essentially all you have to do, hey, Aristodos. One of these days I'll be able to say your name properly. Hey man, I hope you're doing good as well. And so yeah, with this one here, it may be because like if you buy a new CD or if you buy a new game, you can't return that guy. Once it's open, it's open. However, if you buy it used, then you can return it and say that, you know, your console couldn't read it. So in this particular case here, because, you know, if we're talking about a budget of $10 to $20, he may be in his best interest to go ahead and buy the game used and then test it and see if it works. If it doesn't, return it. Doesn't, then it's your disk drive. Let me make sure I set that. Why don't you buy the game used from a GameStop type of store and see if that works? If it does, it's a bad DVD. If it doesn't, then it's your disk drive. And let's actually just say that it's your disk drive, and return the CD and return the game. There we go. That way he gets an idea of how to do it. So basically he's essentially working the system. Had a store that allowed me to exchange as many games as I wanted. Cool store, sad it closed. Yeah, a lot of games are like that. You know what? I miss the way GameStop used to be back before they made it into like a selling project. But I used to have really good conversations with other gamers, and that used to be the only way I would actually be able to talk to other gamers before I got into tech, like really got into like networking. Because once you get into networking, you go to a place where everybody's a networking engineer, then all of a sudden everybody's a gamer. so it's not a big deal anymore. But when I was younger and GameStop didn't have all these rules, you can go in there and have a full conversation with the person that's behind the desk and talk about all the games or what game you're excited for, or Pokemon or whatever game that you're into, and they'll have a whole conversation with you and you have a great time. And I miss that so much. Now they're under so much pressure and scrutiny that they are completely on edge because of, you know, all the rules and the changes and all that kind of stuff, and it's basically been passed down to the employees. So now you can't even have an actual conversation, or you feel like you're burning their time because they have, you know, like there's like 5 people behind you, you know what I mean? So it's sad the way they have gone out, or they're on their verge of going out. I know it has made some changes, but it's just sad what's happened to GameStop and GameStop-like companies, because it used to be like one of the best places you can go to find like-minded people. It's hard to find that. It's so rare that you would find somebody who happens to be really into the same games that you're into, you know? So that's what I do miss about GameStop. I actually used to enjoy going to the mall and then going to a GameStop. Like, it was just, to me, it was just fun. But without further ado, let's go to the next one. Crazy, like 7 years from now, it will be 2030. Oh God, please don't remind me. 7 years, man, I'd be, woo Lord, I'd be very old. Let's put it that way. I won't be young, that's for sure. And my knees will probably hurt more, so, you know. All right, so this is from Sensitive Amount 4810. Sensitive writes, my brother reset the Xbox or something and all accounts on there got removed. When I tried logging back in, it said my account had been locked, and so I went through the steps to unlock it, but now it's as if it's a completely new account. It asked me for a new gamer tag, and all my games data have been wiped. My other brother's account got added back just fine, but his account is on a different Xbox while mine isn't. Am I doing something wrong or what? So with this one here, what you want to do is log into the Xbox account on a website. So what you would want to do is go to a computer and access your Xbox Live account from the website directly. Hey, I won one. I think this video is a bunch of L's, but that one is a win. So hey, congratulations. So what you want to do is go to a computer and access your Xbox Live account from the website directly and see if all of your save data is here. So if your save data is there, then you may have just used the wrong email to log into your account, which is a possibility. If your save data isn't there, then yeah, it may be really bad, man. He may have done something to delete the actual profile itself. So it's hard to say, but I'll just leave it here because the answers are bad. It's like your answers, like if this does not fix the issue, then it's going to be real bad. Like, he's lost all of his data, and it's going to be a very, I don't know if there's going to be a way to recover it, but the fact that it's asking him for this information and thinks that he may have put in the wrong information, it's a possibility that he may literally just using a different email address. I do that all the time, not remembering which email address goes to which account because you have so many. So we'll just go with this and see exactly what he says here. Mr. Sensitive, keep us posted. Alrighty here, group 3. What is that? Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Actually, I think that is on our list. Okay, so this is from, let's see, X Random Randy. Okay, hold on, let me need some water. Bro, if somebody trolled him and wiped everything, that would be depressing. That would be absolutely depressing. But I think they may have just wiped the console. Therefore, he doesn't have his information and he doesn't remember his email account, and maybe he used the wrong email account. That's what I'm hoping. So I still want to keep out hope and hope that happens. But if not, yeah, it's game over. Their brother causing the problem. Exactly. Well, yeah, it depends. Is his brother a troll? Did you take his toy? Like, how old are we talking about? Do y'all hate each other, or do y'all just hate each other today? So, alrighty. And Random Randy this is a repeat, and he said PC shuts off mid-use, will not power back on. And he said, last night my PC pulled an immediate no warning shutdown straight to black screen, no splash screen or anything warning mid-use. It will also, as of right now, not power back on. And basically he gave us his specs, and he gave him some basic troubleshooting he's done. He's basically taken a voltmeter and checked the outlet, which is why we didn't say anything about the outlet. Standby power LED on the motherboard is on, which means that it has some sort of power. Left it unplugged overnight and fully discharged. Replaced the CMOS battery, disconnected both drives to try and boot just the BIOS. And I said, when you power on the case, do the fan spin up? If so, do this or do that. He said, hello, thank you for replying. So in testing just now, I got a slight response out of the case. I turned on the PSU main switch and pressed the power startup button on the case, and I got a slight click and some feedback out of my speakers. But beyond that very small brief response, I got no fan startup, no lights, nothing. Oh, power supply. I tried virtually every combination of memory sticks, alternating slots, only one, then only the other, made no difference. My assumption is the power, of course. Yep. Maybe a bad cell or something that's still registering power at the board, but not actually providing enough to mean anything. I have better equipment for testing electrical issues, though. My work that I'll have on hand tomorrow, and I'll do some more digging. Yeah. You got it. You got it. Bro, yeah. We're all thinking power supply as well. Let us know how this goes. We run a live stream called TheOpenForum, and we check responses daily, except on weekends. Weekends. LOL. Just let them know. He got the whole power tension testing kit. Yeah, he got everything, man. This man is a straight, I think he's an electrical engineer. But yeah, he was like, as soon as he said voltmeter, I was like, oh, this man knows his electricity. But yeah, it appears that this man just may have a bad power supply on this one here. The CMOS was interesting that he actually even said that. You don't really run into regular customers or people even knowing what a CMOS battery is. So props to this man. It seems like he is very technical savvy. We're like kindred spirits. This is from Awesome Gamer 470. Awesome Gamer writes, Xbox turns on and immediately turns off. Well, that's bad. Hello, everyone. I am having a problem with my Xbox Series X where it is turning on, but after about 5 seconds or so, it turns right back off. I have also noticed sometimes when I turn it on, the fan starts to spin but stops. I'm not sure if this helps or not, but any help would be highly appreciated, especially because I've sent my Xbox back to Microsoft for 2 different problems and have received an Xbox that has problems again. Sorry if this does not help, as this is all the information I can give. Okay. Well, a few things. How's that? How's that warranty on a third RMA? LOL. Gotta make sure this man still has a third RMA. We don't want to go back and forth with him, and then as it turns out, he just went outside of his RMA window. We want to make sure that we have enough time to actually troubleshoot. A lot of times, us as engineers or just as people or people that's really into tech and helping people, we always want to kind of get to troubleshooting the issue. I know people that like troubleshooting more than they like fixing the issue. And what that does is it puts you in this situation, right, where let's say, it may take you, let's say, a week for the conclusion. You have some idea that once you bring in other powers or other departments and stuff like that, it will take you a week. However, the customer doesn't have that kind of time. The customer is down hard and he needs to fix in the next 2 to 3 days. You know that if you wipe the entire technical device, whatever the device is, it will fix the issue. But you wait that week because you want to see what the problem is. That is very normal. That happens to a lot of people that are really into this whole technical thing and supporting and helping people, but it's really starting to go to the left, right? It's like a very thin line between obsession and addiction, right? So as long as you're obsessed with helping people and it doesn't turn into an addiction, it's okay. But the moment it starts to turn into an addiction, you're more focused on fixing the issue than helping the person. So you always want to make sure that you tread that line very, very carefully, because it can go real bad real fast. Because I can tell you stories about weeks and weeks and weeks cases stay open or people stay open or issues stay open because they want to figure out what's causing the problem. Right? Same way with the database guy wanting to figure out what's wrong with the database. When you go that far, it's hard to bring somebody back. It's like, hey, come back to earth. We have to help the customer. The customer takes more precedence, and fixing their issue takes more precedence than trying to figure out what caused the problem. No. I want to fix it because I need to know this for my own sanity. So you have to thread that line. It's a very, very, very thin line of thread. Like 1 minute you think you're helping, next minute you're not at all. All you're doing is wasting their time. They void your warranty if you tinker with your device. Okay, yeah, gotcha. You go through the Dark Souls fog. Yeah. Okay, well, a few things. How's the warranty on a third RMA? LOL. I wonder, did he say he was tinkering with his device? I hope not. I don't think so. Okay, so I don't think he's messed with it yet, but if it's powering on and powering back off, of course, if we treat it like a computer, which it is, we would think about graphics card, we would think about motherboard, CPU, everything really, power. But because it's an Xbox, I think more hard drive. So it's a possibility that maybe his hard drive is corrupted, and what would happen if your Xbox booted with no hard drive? I don't know. I would imagine what he's having a problem with. So it's a possibility that his hard drive is just corrupted. I would tell him to try to swap out the hard drive, but at the same time, in doing that, you kind of have to open the back sort of thing. So I'm not sure. And on top of that, he may not have a hard drive. It may be in our best interest just to go ahead and proceed with an RMA, especially if he has the ability to do so. So I'm not even sure if it's a good idea to even recommend if an RMA is the better option. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, didn't know that the hardware would instantly make the machine turn off after it checks for it. Well, I look at it like this, right? So if you look at it from a Windows perspective, what happens in Windows if it doesn't detect a hard drive? Oh, it'll let you know. It'd be like, hey, a media installation or media installation has not been detected, and it'll just sit there. Well, if you take that, because it's the same company, right? If you take that and then apply it to the console, well, if it doesn't detect a media device, there's a pretty good shot that it'll just turn itself off. So in that kind of a situation here, we would have to play it like that, and if it's just turning itself off because it doesn't detect a drive. But if he doesn't have a drive, then I'm not about to sit here and tell this man to spend $150 on a possibility when he can spend no money and get an RMA. So this is what it means to actually be able to troubleshoot your issue. You have to, okay, I had coaches that used to tell me this. You have to protect the person from themselves. And this applies to tech too. And no matter how much you troubleshoot, no matter how much you learn, no matter how good you get, you always want to protect them from themselves. Even when they don't know what the answer is, or even when they're frustrated or they're angry or they're mad at you or they're mad at the company that you represent, you always want to protect them, even when they don't know that you're protecting them. Because once they calm down, they'll realize that you were trying to protect them, and then they'll have your loyalty, or you'll have their loyalty. So that's the reason why I do it that way, right? You always want to look out for that person. So like if we're talking about a drive, it's like, okay, yeah, you could test the drive, but that may be like $100 that he may not have, and it may be better in his option to go with the RMA because the RMA won't cost anything. It's okay, cool. So we can't go drive. Okay, well, anything else you can go with? Well, if it's motherboard, he's screwed. If it's power supply, he's screwed. If it's graphics card, he's screwed. So he only really has the option of an RMA. Now, the only other option is what happens if it's software. We can do a hard software wipe and see if that resolves it. But if it was software, it wouldn't just shut down. If it was software, it would just throw an error. It will tell you why. It'll generate a problem or an error or an error code or show you a picture. His just turns off. So it doesn't really sound like it's software. It sounds like it's some form of hardware, and there's nothing that we can really do outside of the RMA. So the RMA is probably the best option anyway. So there's no real point in being like, oh, hey, if you we can say, hey, if you have a spare hard drive, I would try to swap it out. But most people don't keep extra NVMe drives lying around, or SSDs. I'm not sure what's on what it's actually using these days, but people don't just keep that around, so that was a whole spiel. That was a whole conversation and then some. Then they sue you. Exactly. So yeah, you always got to protect them from themselves, because if not, man, all of a sudden they sue you and the company. They sue you, your company, your LLC, and your assets. But like, how does my assets have anything to do with this, sir? Hey, you gave me wrong advice. So hey, you got to be very, very careful. At the end of the day, it's always to protect the customer, regardless if he wants you to protect them or not. That's the best way to look at it. That Hanzo probably should have aimed at that turn instead of me, but whatever. Alrighty. So we'll just go with that. We won't go too much further on it because, yeah, it's just, this feels like hardware, man. I don't think you're going to be able to get around it the way it's doing, the way it's acting. I feel like it's over. Alrighty. This is from Charity Diary, and this is a repeat. So he says, or she says, we'll go with she. Audio stuttering when broadcasting to Twitch. Oh, I remember this. So they didn't mention what the bit rate was, what they were actually streaming at. And they also didn't mention, they said they go down to 480p, but they didn't mention if they were wireless or wired. So that was essentially what we were asking. Also, we did the reboot because we didn't want to take an L for a reboot anymore, because we're better than that. And so he said, I am on a wired connection already, and I did try rebooting both the console and my other hardware, but the issue persists. Okay. So we're talking about the Xbox Series X, right? So if we go turn on our controller here. Yo, you up? Hey, you're up. So if we go into our settings here, network settings, I wonder if you have an option about streaming. Well, we can do a test network speed and statistics. That's probably going to be our best option here. Yeah, let's see what he gets. Okay, so I can't run that. Obviously, it'll show my information. So test network speed and statistics from system and then network. Okay. Okay, so what happens if you go to settings? Oh, I'm sorry. I clicked on the wrong button. Settings, system, and then network. Check arrow. Check network speed and statistics. What data does it give you? Now, could there be latency in the line? Sure, that's a possibility. Or it could be like the Ethernet cable may have gone bad. That's also a possibility. And if it's going bad, what will happen is a lot of times it may drop packets. It's not necessarily so much that the cable is bad. It's just that we're talking about Ethernet, and there's a lot of times where the clamp can come off and make your Ethernet loose. So it's a possibility that the cable itself may be damaged. Well, now I am sure that the streamer I am talking about is a PS5 or an Xbox. No real options when you use the streaming app on the Xbox. Oh, you know what? It doesn't, but I've never tried to go past the stream. I've only just gone to the window. Like, I think it is, what's this? Start a game. Yeah. So, well, this is for captures. Start a recording, capture a screenshot, live streaming, and capture settings. All right, so let's see what we got here. So allow game captures on games, record what happened for 30 seconds. That's fine, whatever. Automatically upload captures by me, and then 1080p. Okay, so you can't really choose. So you have 1080p standard definition. Then you have 4K high definition, 30 seconds max. So it's not even super long. So I'm guessing he was probably going 720p standard definition. 720p standard definition is probably around 2500 kilobits per second. So it's not, it doesn't require a lot. Okay. So what we would do in this particular situation is once he runs his speed test and tells us back what his speed is, we would check that upload speed, because if that upload speed is low, let's say it's 1 megabit per second, then there's a possibility that he doesn't have a fast enough internet to actually accommodate him streaming. Or maybe there may have been a change or something along those lines and his speed may have been nerfed. So now he doesn't have the upload speed required to run it at 720p. I'm guessing he's going 720p because that's the only way you can get 3 minutes max, right? So that's what I'm thinking may be happening here. Oh, actually, you know what? This is actually for the game clip, not necessarily for the actual stream. So this is just for capturing, and then this is for sharing. So no. Okay. Automatically what happened, game clip resolution. Yeah, so that's just a clip of a game. That's not actually sharing it. So yeah, you don't really have a whole lot of options. It basically just tells you just to start. Start and choose your, it's like choose your fighter. And that's it. Recent captures, my game and apps. Well, where were we? Okay. Start a recording, share recording, live stream. Yeah, so live stream and then capture settings. That's pretty much it. Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough. Set up a stream. Oh, God. Oh, actually, you know what? Go to settings. What? Oh, okay. Okay. So essentially you just link it to those and then you just stream it to it. Okay. Well, well, that sucks. So you can't really, it doesn't really have a whole lot of options there. Wait, I am unsure if the other streamer I am talking about is on PS5 or Xbox. 1 megabyte is a real pain. It almost, at most, you get 480p without killing your family's Wi-Fi. Explore. Exactly, man. I'm hoping that it's not, but depending on where he lives, that may be the case. So the best thing that we can do for him is to tell him to go to network and check his speed and statistics so we can get an idea of what his download speed is, his upload speed is, and what his latency is, and then we can go from there. Because of his upload speed, because of course, the way live streaming works is that you need to be more than somewhere around 2 times what it is. So let's say your internet speed is 5 megabits per second. Well, you have to be uploading at least, or at the most, 2.5 kilobits per second. So, or 2.5 megabits per second. So that's 2,500 kilobits per second. So you have to be somewhere around 2,500 kilobits per second, which is 720p, right? So it has to be, you have to be less than half of whatever your upload speed is. That way you have overhead, because sometimes it may go 2,500 kilobits per second, but sometimes it may go 3,000. So it really kind of depends on the situation and who you're streaming to, as well as the resolution you're streaming at. For example, this right here on YouTube is 1080p and at 60 frames per second, or you can go higher, but 1080p at 60 frames per second really doesn't need more than, I say, about 5,000 kilobits per second, or 10 meg. So as long as you have a 10 meg upload speed, you can actually do 1080p just fine, you know. And on top of that, Twitch doesn't go much further than that anyway. You can go a little bit further on Twitch. You can oversubscribe Twitch, but you still have those limitations. Now, 4K, things start to get a little bit crazier. You want to be somewhere around 13.5 kilobits per second as far as the upload, which means that your upload speed in reality should be somewhere around 23. I can't imagine streaming with that kind of connection. I used to have 780 kilobits per second at download. Ooh, Lord. Yo, that's an AOL. With the CD disc. And you hear the dial-up modem that... That's exactly what that reminds me of. But of course, obviously, that was low. That was way, way, way worse than 780 kilobits per second. That was 52. But yeah, that's the main thing I think of. Yeah, I'm telling you, when TV was on, yeah, I'm telling you, man, I've had lower speeds, especially like when I used to work for a cable company, and we would have, like, our original speed that we had was 10 meg down, 1 meg up. And you really wouldn't get that 1 meg up because most people don't really do anything as far as uploading. And then all of a sudden you got all these streamers that come along and they want to stream at 720p or 1080p, but they only have 1 meg upload. And it's like, bro, like, you can't, there's not a whole lot you can do here. You have to upload to a faster, go to something with a faster upload speed. Then they want to pay the price. So yeah, I run into that all the time. Especially you run into more with broadband than you do with cable, because typically cable and like fiber, you get 100 meg up or some kind of craziness. I think I have 40 meg up. So yeah, with a lot of the cable and fiber companies, you get that upload speed a lot better than you do with broadband, or if you use your cell phone. I know a lot of people that still do. Check network speed and statistics. What data does it give you? And what else do we want to say on this? It was the network settings, see what the data gives us, and the upload speed, and then go from there. Yeah, we'll just go from there. Also, what is the latency? Also, what is your latency from the test? From the test. Okay. There we go. Yeah. The last floor on the 30th floor building, you'd have a good connection, but no bad provider. Yeah. Okay. So that is probably one of the worst situations that you run into. So, okay. When you are trying to get cable provider or cable services or electrical services or phone services, and you are the last person at the end of the line, your signal would be terrible. Like, I don't care if we're talking about towers. I don't care if we're talking about internet. I don't care if we're talking about cable. I don't care if we're talking about phone. Your signal is at the mercy of everyone else's signal. So I've always, like, every time I used to troubleshoot things when it came to cable providers, it was always because they were on somewhere towards the end of the line, and there may be water in the line or saturation, or the signal is weak, or they have high TX and RX values, or their RX is like -50, or it's just something bad. There was always some type of a signal quality thing, but there's nothing you can do, right? You can't really boost the signal because it'll make it too hot. So there's certain things that you can't do to that line. So yeah, you run into that all the time. And generally the people who have the biggest problems are always the people that are on the end of a line. And because you got to think about it, like if you're talking about doing a brand new install at a new site or a new location that doesn't have any type of cable or internet or phone, we're talking like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And there are certain situations where customers will pay that, especially if it's like a new construction or something that they built themselves. But 9 times out of 10, most people ain't paying that. They're not paying that for a cable service just to get cable. They're like, forget that, I'll go with somebody else. So it is very, very difficult when you run into those situations where you happen to be at the end of the line. So always bear that in mind. If somebody ever tells you that, just switch service. just switch to another company. because it's over for you, man. You about to have all kind of problems. So yeah. Now, of course, there are, you know, certain sites where the signal is actually good, so it doesn't matter that you're at the end of the line. But generally, for most customers that run into that situation, is usually because they're at the end of the line. All righty. Okay, cool. So we already answered his question here. Try to scam you with deals. Yo, those bundles. Okay. One more story. All right. So okay. I was very good at talking to people, as you guys have probably figured this out by now. And even when I was a kid, I knew how to talk to people because I was always big. Like I was always a big dude, right? So if you ever wanted to get anybody's attention, you had to have a personality. So I always talked to people. I always knew how to talk to somebody, right? And so when I got a job where I essentially was tech support, but I also sold products, I would compete with the sales reps, right? Because I am very good. Like I always like, if there is an incentive for me to sell this person, or there is an incentive to fix their issue because I know I can make money off the back end because I upgrade them to their internet or something like that. So let's say they call in because they're a streamer and they only have a 1 meg upload speed. I know that I can upgrade them and gain, I think back then it was like $5. Okay, back then $5 was a lot of money. Okay, let me preface that. $5 was a lot of money. Okay, it was an internet upgrade was $5. A telephone, like if you added telephone to their account, that was also $5. And an upgrade for cable, if they have standard cable and you upgraded it to a cable box, that was $2 plus $5. So you make $7 off of it because it costs more. So you can very quickly, you can upgrade a customer and gain $20 like that. So I would troubleshoot their issues, and I was so gifted at troubleshooting technical issues. I just had gotten my my computer science degree, right? So I was already really comfortable with troubleshooting technical issues. So I would troubleshoot their technical issues, and then I would literally flip around and sell them, and they already had my trust or already had their trust because I just fixed their issue. And then I would just go crazy, bro. I actually won a trip to Costa Rica because I sold HBO so much. And that trip was awesome. And like I had like 300 sales in like 30 days. Like it was something crazy. And I ended up going on a trip to Costa Rica paid for by selling HBO, because I don't know why or what happened, but it had a nice little promotion. I think it was like free for a year or some craziness. And so yeah, when people start putting money into it, you'd be surprised how good you are at troubleshooting tech. All of a sudden, you turn into Linus or somebody, and you're just troubleshooting tech issue after tech issue after tech issue. And man, you be making money hand over fist, because like in one day, you can probably take, I'd say about maybe 40 to 50 calls, right? And if you're in tech and you're really, really good at it, you might be able to take more, but somewhere between, I'd say 20 to 50 calls. And if I would say, let's say half of them, you made $5, $10, well, that starts to add up, you know, because if you're taking, we're talking about $250 in a day, and we're talking about 13 years ago, in a day. Oh my God. I was so balling. Oh my goodness, bro. Like I had a brand new watch. I don't even wear watches, but apparently back then I had one. I bought 2 brand new watches. I had my own apartment. I was balling. I had no roommates. It was on and popping. I loved that job. That job was great. And then they started to nerf how much money you can make. And once they started to nerf how much money you can make, it was time to go. And then I got my degree and I got offered another position. But yeah, that was some good time, because I had my associates when I first got the job. But while I was there I was there in total for 10 years. But when I had my associates and then I got my bachelor's, that's when I got offered another position, because I was getting ready to leave the company. And they countered and I stayed. So I went back into the cable industry. But oh my God, when it first started, in that first, I would say 5 years or so that I was in that department, oh man, I was balling. Oh, I was balling. You should never give a person that's in their 20s that much money. I don't even know what happened. All of a sudden I had girlfriends I didn't even know I had. It was a very interesting time for me. And I don't know, man. I never had so much, right? Because like I had to struggle. Like my first job, I used to flip chicken, right? It was like a whole family thing, right? We used to always work at Church's Chicken. And Church's Chicken, for y'all who are not in the States, is, let's just call it ghetto chicken. Let's call it what it is. It is ghetto chicken. So I used to flip chicken, right? In my first job, I made $6.75 an hour on my first job, which is pennies right now, right? So I'm with the old crowd. It's like, oh, y'all sit here complaining about making $15 an hour when I used to make $6 on my first job. I hate you all. That's how I feel. So that was my first job, right? So going from, you know, $6 an hour, and then I became a manager and I made $7 an hour. So going from $6 to $7 an hour, and then all of a sudden you start getting into tech, and now you're making money hand over fist. And you're 20? Oh my God. It was the best time ever. Bro, I upgraded my car. I'll sit here. I had a Camry, then all of a sudden I had a Pathfinder. It was just a lot happened, man. I think I blacked out for like 5 years of my life because I was just making so much money. And I was getting better and better at tech because I could just, the longer you stay, the better you got at troubleshooting. And I could just troubleshoot a person's issue same way we can now. And I don't have to think about it. There's no cheat notes. There's no tech notes. I don't have to look at anything. I've gotten that good because I've done it so much. And then back then I was incentivized because I was making money on the back end. So, oh my God, if you want to know how you get so good at tech where you can just, somebody can ask you any question on any topic and it be technical and you can answer it, put some money on it. Put 5 on it. That's exactly what you do. You put 5 on it, and all of a sudden, you're the best technical engineer in the world because they put 5 on it. So, okay, that's my last story. But yeah, that's exactly. I'm telling you, bro, you get that third eye. You go Doctor Strange and get that third eye. When they start putting money on it, they throw money at your eye, and all of a sudden the third eye pops open, and now you can troubleshoot any technical issue. I'm saying helping old ladies with remotes. I was like, girl, don't even worry about it. Go ahead and get your son from me. I'll teach him how to set up this remote. Don't even worry about it. Be 65-year-old ladies. I'm sitting here upgrading their internet. It got bad, okay? It got bad. Do they need an upgrade of their internet? Well, if it was free, then, you know. So yeah, it was a very interesting time for me. Let's put it that way, because man, you could have made so much money. Now there are so many restrictions. I don't even know if you can do it the way we used to, but man, you could. That was stupid. That was super stupid. But yeah, you can make money hand over fist back in the day. It was such a good time in my life because that was the first time I actually truly had some money on me, right? Like I've always been a pretty good saver, but I never had money like that when I was that young. When I first got into it, oh my God. Messed with the wrong people, started dating the wrong people. But outside of that though, pretty good experience. Alrighty, here. Ultra Instinct thing starts playing immediately. Exactly. You start hearing boss music. Oh my goodness. I used to be taking ownership of people's calls and stuff. I'd be like, they'd be like, hey, can you help me with this issue? I pull up their account, I see what services they have, and I start packaging, trying to figure out what package I can offer them towards the end. And they're just asking me to help the customer. I was like, you know what? Go ahead and give me that customer. Go ahead and transfer them to me. Don't even worry about it. I'll take care of it. And you go ahead and go to your next customer. I fix their issue and then upgrade them because I know they have some kind of a package on their account. And by the time I get to the selling point, I already know how much it costs. I know how much it's going to increase their bill by. I know what their first bill is going to be. And I know what the taxes are. So I already knew everything about it before I even talked to this customer, regardless if I can fix the issue or not. That's how bad it was. In a good way. Like I knew everything. Like I was like, bro, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I'll take care of it. I'll help you with this. And I don't know. I guess over the years I've gotten better at that, where it's not really so much about the money. It's about helping your teammates get better. But back then, oh no. Back then I was about the money. I was trying to get as rich as humanly possible. But at the same time, I was spending as much as humanly possible, so it was like a net of zero. That's before you start reading about, you know, Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Robert Kiyosaki and all this. But back then, oh my God, I was balling. Oh, it was such a good time in my life. All of a sudden, like it goes from playing like the hold music to boss music. But yo, what's up? You reach your cable internet provider. I can help you with any issue. I guarantee that I will fix your issue in 3 to 5 business days or less. So, but music starts playing. Yeah, it was that kind of a night, man. It was awesome. It was a good time. I would say of all the jobs, I probably liked that one the most for a while until it started to get you felt kind of bad. Cause like, because the more you learn, the more annoyed you get about the questions you ask. So that's like the equivalent of a doctor being asked about how to give CPR. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, I done went to medical school, I done graduated, I got all these degrees, I have all these certifications, and I'm sitting here still trying to teach you how to do CPR. You see what I'm saying? That's how it got to that level, because I was learning so much and I was doing better, and I was learning about virtualization and networking and stuff like that. And then somebody asked me how to put batteries in a remote, and I'm like, oh my God. If I have to teach you how to put batteries in this remote one more time, Miss Jenkins, we're going to have a problem, okay? We're going to be fighting, because I cannot keep talking to you every single day to try to teach you how to put batteries in your remote. Those Panasonic batteries do not last, Miss Jenkins. I told you that. So it started to get to that level. And I was sitting here getting mad and angry. And I was just like, at that point, I knew it was time to go, because at that point, it wasn't about the money anymore. At that point, it was about my sanity. And I was just losing my sanity because I was learning so much, but doing so little. So yeah. That story turned into a whole movie, complete with stories and extras and Miss Jenkins and random people and guest stars and guest appearances. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, that's what happened. That's a big part of my life there. That's one of the reasons why I got so good at tech. Okay. There's people who don't know how to use Google. Yes. Man, you start running into that. And the more you take of these kind of calls and issues, the more you start to lose track of reality. Kind of like the power supply thing. That's why I get so mad at myself, because I start to lose track and you lose focus, and I start going like high end, right? Because we know how to troubleshoot on all levels. I can troubleshoot a residential issue just as quickly as I can a commercial issue. It means nothing to me. So for me, I have to make sure that you still have to have that level of sanity, that you can go back to those lower issues, those reboots, those removing batteries from remotes, those simple issues, plugging in directly versus wireless. Those kind of things can bite you, because if you take an L because somebody else fixed it and you couldn't, you're gonna feel a certain way about it when you start to get really into this stuff. So that's the kind of the way I look at it. So I got to make sure that I keep my sanity about it. If not, I'm start talking and going about 50 different ways to troubleshoot an issue when all you needed was batteries in the remote. You know what I mean? It goes right back to my childhood. You think AI is going to do that job soon? Yes and no. Okay. I would say it like this, right? When it comes to AI has the ability to be able to answer customers' questions. However, people as how world, okay. All right. You got me on my soapbox now. You've done this. Okay. So just you did this. So, okay. As the world has progressed, I feel that it's not even a feeling, it's more of a what's happened, is that people don't have patience. Okay, so regardless of how good AI gets, or if it gets to the point where it can replace jobs, people don't have the patience to wait for the answers given by AI. So let's say AI knows how to go through one particular life cycle. Let's say, let's take one of our issues. Let's say audio stuttering when broadcasting to Twitch. Okay, cool. And let's say they're using OBS. Okay. And so let's say they know, okay, well, if you're having this problem, go ahead and check your settings to make sure that you have the right kilobit, and go ahead and do a speed test to see what your upload speed is. So let's say it knows those two, right? So it says, okay, well, go ahead and run a speed test and see what you get. Well, I don't want to run a speed test. I want to talk to somebody so they can help me fix my issue right now. Okay, well, but the first step is to go ahead and run a speed test to see what your upload speed is. I don't want to do all that. I want to talk to somebody so they can fix my issue right now. So I feel like as our patience has diminished, regardless of what happens with AI, it can never get to the point where it can substitute for a person, because normal people want to cuss out normal people. Normal people don't like cussing out machines because there's nobody to respond or get mad. So some people call just to troll or just to be angry. So they want to be angry at something. They don't want to be angry and talking to themselves. That'd be the equivalent of you picking up the phone and nobody answers and you start talking to yourself. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you run into these situations where even though AI could replace it, and in some situations it can, like a Facebook or, places where they don't really care if you support or not. They don't really care if you leave or not, because they make so much money, it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? Those places versus places that try to make a profit, they're better off with people, because the people can take the good and the bad. The robot can only take people that are indifferent. And that is what I feel like what's happened. If you're indifferent, oh yeah, it's no problem, because you're willing to wait. You don't really care. It's not that big a deal. You can call me back. You can figure out this issue. You can send an email. That's when AI is really good. But as the world has progressed, there are so few people that are indifferent. They always feel one extreme or the other. It's very rare that you run into people that are just willing to wait. And wait is something that we have very few of in this world, the way it's currently constructed. What would happen if you put the Reddit question into the chat GPT prompt? I have no idea. You could literally have a chat GPT bot, Reddit bot account. Yo, that would be kind of cool though. I guess you could have like two options. Yeah, one real people, but it's free, and two AI. Yeah, you know, I always thought what would have happened is that they give you the option of, and a lot of companies still do this, that you have like a basic option, right? And your support is like an AI support, but you can also get live support, which they call professional services, or advanced services, or live services, or whatever, or live help, or whatever, and you pay a premium on your account, a yearly premium. And so that's what most companies have done. They've gone to a system where you pay a premium in order to get that support help, and you don't have to deal with the AI. And that's generally what I've seen throughout industries and different companies. So yeah, that's generally what you get. Like if you're not paying a bunch, they don't really care, because they'd already have your service, and you don't have any software as a service. So you don't have any services that are yearly payments to the company. So because of that, it doesn't really matter. They don't ebb or flow with you because you're not paying them. So in those situations, you will get AI, or you will get emails, or will get slow replies, things of that nature. A custom company AI would be made in the future to answer the questions. Yeah. A lot of time. I mean, even now, I know a lot of companies are starting to move towards that. Like whenever I had my Facebook account hacked, I never knew that Facebook didn't have a support team no more. I'm guessing it may have happened because of COVID, but they don't have a support team. There's nobody to contact. There's nobody to get angry at. There's nobody to help you recover your email. It's just you. So it makes it very, very difficult, because like they'll be like, oh yeah, we'll render a verdict, but you don't know when, you don't know who, you don't know who to talk to, you don't know who to persuade, who to ask. There's no manager to talk to. There's nothing. So as soon as your account gets hacked, everybody's hacked. Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, everybody. So it's dangerous, but when you're a Facebook company, you make so much money hand over fist. Losing one customer or a few customers is such a small percentage to what they actually make in ad revenue that it doesn't matter. And that's the sad part of it, which is why people like us exist. Woo, Lord, that was a whole story. Oh my God, that was a whole story. I don't even know, bro. Like like we just went on a whole tangent about one customer's issue. Did we even help him? I feel like we did. Okay. Let's just make sure. We have a quota to hit. We got to hit 50 people a day. Otherwise, like, Jesus is mad at me. I don't know, but something happens and we have to help 50 people a day. Okay. We have a quota to keep. We have to help these people. Okay. So Charity, I hope that this works. Let us know. I guess it's not really so much to try to see if it works. Just trying to get an idea of what your upload speed is, and then we can kind of go from there. Because if you're only going at 480p, I worry that either A, you have latency, or B, you truly have a low upload speed, either of which is a possibility in this scenario. Okay, and we also did already say reboot the router, because we take no L's, man. I'm not trying to take no L today. Alrighty, so this is from Rusty. Rusty, hey, this is an HDR question too. So you are finally access your Facebook account. I ended up having to create a brand new account, and which sucked because I had to regrow my Instagram account, and I had to regrow my Facebook business account. But I mean, hey, it happens. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just something that you have to do, so it's whatever. But yeah, I ended up having to create brand new accounts. Okay, so this is Rusty, and it's HDR. You know what? It's been, I would say, 4 months since we had an HDR issue. And it was a bad one too. That one was, what was it? It was, whenever he went to HDR, his screen went black. So it was something along those lines. Either it went black or it went all white whenever he went to HDR. Obviously, it probably went all black, because for HDR to go all white, you know how much nits you need for your HDR to go all white? You need like 2,000 nits. Like, it's crazy amount. Like, I know projectors don't even get that high. So, okay, cool. So HDR 10, right? So, hi guys, recently there was such a problem. I turned on the Xbox, went into a game, and the screen goes dark. Okay. I swear I didn't read this, y'all. I swear I didn't read this. And very much, if you go to the main screen, then everything is fine. I swear. Okay, sorry, that's my little sister. Everything is fine. I read it on the internet. It says to turn off HDR10. Turned it off. Everything became normal. But I am still tormented by the question, what could it be? The forums on which I read were the years 21 and 2022, and in some in general 2016. If anything, I use a translator, so don't be scared if some words are not there, and so on. Well, okay, so I think we may have to just explain what HDR10 does and what that means. So with HDR10, you typically need, is it lumens or nits these days? If it's lumens, well, okay. HDR10 ideal screen brightness. I feel like it's nits now. Okay. Nits. Okay, I just want to make sure. Lumens is the measurement for projectors. And so, like, I used to have a short throw projector, and it was actually, I think it was 800 lumen. That thing was freaking awesome because it can go 720p at 120 frames per second and give you a 90-inch screen at not 90-inch prices. So yeah, it was so good. Okay. And where was he? Where was our homie here? Okay. No, we already helped him. Did we already help this one? Yes, we already helped. Okay, so it's the last one. Okay, so with HDR, you typically need, I don't believe that, by the way. Even though this thing did say 400 nits, that's a lie. 400 nits is trash on HDR. It's not even worth doing. I would say, theoretically, the best way you want to do HDR10 is to have at least 600 nits. I would say that would be where you would actually notice that it's actually really good. But turning on HDR does make your screen dark. Have you tried turning it off and on? Exactly. Actually, you know what? That actually fixed this issue. So with HDR10, you typically need, I would say around 600 nits to be considered ideal. So your screen got dark because your monitor probably has a lower, oh God, I don't want to, okay, do I know what I want to say? Yes, nit count, but I don't know if that's a word, has a lower brightness level, okay? We gotta sound like we're smart, even though we spell it S-M-A-T. So it's one of those situations. So your screen got dark because your monitor probably has a lower brightness level. If your monitor supports HDR, I would check the specs to see what your brightness level is. Brightness level is measured in nits. Okay, we'll do it that way, right? Make sure I spelled that right. Y'all not about to call me dumb. Be like, oh my God, how you misspelled nits? You stupid. We're gonna make sure we spell this right. I'll be darned if somebody be like, oh, nits is spelled G-N-I-T-S. And I'm just like, no, I'm not having that today. So yes, nits. So yeah, I would say 600 nits or above. I think there was a video and Linus was saying that he felt that it was like 800 to 1,000. I only feel that it's 600 because this monitor that I have here that I look at that's towards the bottom is 600 nits. And I watch HDR on that every now and then. It's not often, but he may be right. He has seen way more monitors than I have. So in that particular category, right? So I can't really say because I haven't seen as much as he has, but I feel as though 600 nits is pretty decent to get a good idea of HDR. He said fix it when I switched to TV. There were no channels there for fun. I decided to use the good old method, pull it out of the socket and, God damn it. Oh, and put it back in. What do you think about it? Everything worked and they wrote such a horror on the internet, but everything turned out to be much simpler. Thanks anyway to responding to the help. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. We sit here and had a whole conversation about brightness levels, and this man just rebooted his PC, and you said it, and I'm sitting here talking about dumb. Oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna take that L. I'm gonna take that L. That was a true L. Okay, that was on me. That was my fault. I will take that L. Because you sat there and you said it, and then I read it, and I still freaking start talking about, okay, you know what? That's an L. That's an L. I'll take that. I'll take that. As a man, I will take that L. But yeah, that was stupid. I should have, I don't know. I should have put reboot on there. But whatever. Even though he had already fixed this issue when I replied, because apparently he's fixed it in 3 hours, that's still an L. There's no way around that. That's a straight L. But yeah, whatever. I will take my L and I will move on. But at the same time, I'll leave it here because if somebody else has an issue, this could possibly be the problem. That is, TV may not have the right HDR settings. So whatever, I'll take my L like a man. Where are we at? We have 1 W, 1 L, right? So we're 0. so basically we're not doing well at all. We're doing very, very normal, I guess. We need some more W's, man. I want to finish positively, and we have what? 2 more groups left? We'll see how it goes. All right, so this is the same person? Oh. He has 2 issues? Hold on. Okay, one is called Rusty and one is called Randy. Jesus. These names. Okay, I was like, man, we just talked to him. Okay. So this is from Randy, not Rusty. The last guy was Rusty. All right, so Randy was saying, troubleshoot help, PC shut off, mid-use, will not power back on. Oh, no, we already worked this issue. This was the guy with the voltmeter thing, and we were saying this guy was probably an electrical engineer, and we said it was probably gonna be the power supply. So this is a repeat. Okay, so it is a repeat, but it's not a repeat of the last question. All right, let's go and go to the next one here. It appears that he may have replied to me twice. Okay, this is from a naval secretary. How can I fix this problem? I can't sign into the PlayStation Network because I put my password incorrectly. The thing is, I put the right password, yet it still says it's the wrong one. I even changed my password and typed the new one, didn't work. I did this for a while. I've changed so many passwords and it says all of them are wrong. I tried to restart, it didn't work. I tried to leave it like for a couple of hours. Also, that didn't work. Sony couldn't help as well. Please, can someone tell me what to do in this situation? I can't play any game and I'm starting to freak out. Okay, sure, of course we can. Alrighty. So for this one here, we would say that what happens if you try to log in from a web browser. Hold on, that's the bad sound. That's the work sound. Let me make sure that's cool. What? Okay, it's not referring to me, so I think I'm good. Okay, alrighty. So for this one here, we would say that what happens if you try to log in from a web browser on a PC? Does it allow you to log in? I would say to try to log in there and change your password there first. I'll explain what I'm thinking about. I will say, let us know if that doesn't work. So there's a reason why I'm saying this. Let us know if that doesn't work. What if this person here is an eater of Cheetos, okay? or something sticky, or it's a controller that's older. It's a possibility that whenever she's going and she's typing in her password or redoing her password, one of the buttons are stuck, particularly X in this case here. I think we're talking about PlayStation, right? Yeah, we're talking about PlayStation. So particularly X in this case. So it's a possibility that whenever she's pressing her X button down, it's actually pressing more than once. So it's a possibility that the issue is actually the controller, not necessarily that she can't log into her account. So to remedy this, have her log in to a browser and try to go to the PlayStation account through the browser and see if that works, and then go from there. And if it doesn't, and you still have a problem there, then let us know, and then we can kind of start looking into it. But that's typically what that may mean, is that it may just be that they're putting in the password incorrectly, or the password is getting too many buttons because maybe she's mashing it, or maybe it's getting stuck. Clean controller, yeah. Though, you know, if it's what was that? Okay, so there was switch. Okay, there was I've run into this. Okay, I've run into this several times when I used to go over people's houses and troubleshoot their computers, or go to like I used to work with radiologists and doctors and stuff like that, and I would go over and troubleshoot their computer issues as well. And a lot of times I've run into situations, and I've seen videos, even on this channel where we've been troubleshooting issues live and whatever, we've seen people have lemonade in their keyboard, and then they try to clean it out. They get like alcohol swabs, so on and so forth. And they're like, oh yeah, all the keys are working. Here's the thing. Even if you use alcohol swabs, sugar can be detected by ants anywhere. So if an ant is nearby and he detects that sugar, your keyboard is about to turn into a forest of ants. And so, well, depending on what season it is, right? Because ants are into either sugar or fat, depending on the season. I don't want to get somebody get on to me about National Geographic. I watch my National Geographic. But essentially, you would lift up, like he lifted up his keyboard and it was full of ants, just everywhere. And it was crazy because lemonade is like, if you ever want to attract an ant, use lemonade and sugar. That will do it in a heartbeat. And I mean, just ants everywhere. So yeah, when you run into those situations and you start messing up keyboards, keyboards start getting sticky. And if it's sticky because of something with sugar, you're gonna have a bad time. Alrighty. Nicest way to say it, controller nasty. Yo, don't get me started. I'm not about to break into another story. I will not do it. We still have people to help. But yes, I have seen my fair share of nasty stuff. Like okay, last one. All right, last one. All right, we'll do it on B camera, right? Okay. Let me okay. So okay. I'm not gonna say what company or if it is a company or anything like that, right? So in these situations, in these type of computers, what they used to do back in the day is that they used to have their computers on carpet. So they would have the computers on the ground, right? Because back then there wasn't a real way to have your computer mounted underneath your desk or underslung or on the desk, because they needed to use it for utensils or whatever company it was, whether it's utensils or food or cooking, so on and so forth. So they would put their computers on the ground. Now, not only would they put their computers on the ground, they tend to eat at their computer desk. So they would eat and have their lunches at their computer desk, right? So their computers on the ground and they would eat their lunches at their desk. So you would go, like they say, oh, I'm having an issue with my computer's slow, so on and so forth. And I hear my fan is struggling spinning up. And you would open their computer case and it'd be full of bugs. I mean, roaches everywhere. And it's probably some of the most disgusting stuff you ever seen, because all it takes is a little bit of food to drop. And if you have that computer with contact with the ground, and you got to understand, so there are situations where even animals like sitting on computer desks, right? Because if you think about the exhaust is warm. So the area breeds that kind of environment that is very, very good for most insects, because that inside of that case is super warm. So not only is it warm, they've been eating on their desk for years. So they have desk food and debris, plus they may have a few liquids that may have spilled from here and there, plus it's warm. What does that create? That is the habitat of an alligator. So don't get mad at me when your computer case is destroyed because it got eaten by bugs. I mean, that is literally the habitat of a cockroach. Like, what do you want me to say? You literally created the habitat. How are you gonna get mad that there's bugs in your computer case? Okay. I'm done. That is the literal definition of the habitat of an insect. You can't get mad at somebody because, like, oh my God, you're freaking disgusting. Like, you had that coming. You created that environment. So I'll be getting mad at people, be like, oh my God, how could he even get like this? How could Reinhardt get like that? Oh, he was on a pedal platform. I was like, how is that even possible? Okay, so yeah, I've dealt with some crazy stuff, man. Oh man, bro, it was ants and it was bugs, and it almost looked like they were at war. It's like there were roaches at the top and there were ants at the bottom, and then there was like dead carcasses like at the very, very bottom with the ants. Like it was bad. It was like a whole country. And it was like some of that kind of computer stuff and computer cases, when you used to have it on the ground like that, oh my god, I'm getting sick. I've done too much in my life, man. I'm telling y'all, man, I've done too much. I am so old. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, bro. I feel like a disabled vet, man. It was bad, man. It was bad. Some of them cases, when you open them up, man, you don't know what to expect. But that right there is just disgusting. That, I think, after that day, I think we went to smaller computer cases that were underslung under desks. I don't think they ever did that again, because that was disgusting. Oh, it was so bad. You don't even think it though, because you'll just see it on the floor, it's doing its job or whatever, and it's kind of slow anyway, so nobody really noticed. But if you're eating your lunch at your desk constantly, you're going to eventually drop something. If you're drinking at your desk constantly, condensation is going to happen. Water is going to flow outside of that cup and get on your table and drop on your floor. And if that drops on your computer case, as well as the food, plus it's warm, it's over. You basically created the essential habitat of a cockroach. So, I mean, what you think is gonna happen? Their whole family moved in. They done moved in, they done brought in furniture. They done brought in their grandma, their uncle, cousin, Lyle. They done brought in their friends and family. They got a phone plan, they got internet set up. Like, how the hell you get internet set up inside of a case? Like, they got the entire environment set up because you literally gave them the environment that they needed to succeed. You created a whole planet in a computer case. And that planet was at war. It was ants versus roaches, bro. It was bad. So yeah. Okay, I'm done. That was the last story. We still have people to help. We got like 10 more people before Jesus says I'm done, okay? All right, so let's go to the next one here. Okay, so yeah, that's what we would say for the whole fixing the PC thing. I would think that your controller is stuck. Alrighty. Okay. All right, I'm good. I'll be okay. Like, now that thought is in my mind, I can't unthink it, but I think I'll be okay. I will power myself on, and now that water looks disgusting. So this is from Scrimpy Mitten, which is an adorable name. Scrimpy says, new PC, who dis, got most of it for free as payment for car repairs. I'm a mechanic. Okay, so he has a Ryzen 5 5600G and a B550i and 32 gigs of RAM. Hey, that's nice. But he hasn't, okay, I'm not about to poo-poo on it like it's bad, because the Intel Arc A770, after those updates, have been pretty good. So, hey, that's actually not bad. For free? For fixing somebody's car? Hey, that's back in the day when you used to trade skill for skill. Like I've never had to work on my car because I always knew how to troubleshoot computers like my whole life. So I would just fix somebody's computer and they work on my car. So I never really had to pay unless I needed parts. It's always been that way. Just you trade a skill for a skill. Nowadays, you know, I wouldn't consider history a skill. I wouldn't consider some of these technologies, and well, I wouldn't say technologies, the word is terminologies that people use. I wouldn't consider that a skill. Like, that's not a skill set that you can trade. But being in tech, or being in computers, or being an engineer or a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer or something like that, you have a skill set that you can trade with other people that is very valuable. Like, be like, oh yeah, I'll represent you, bro. Just go ahead and fix my car for me. So it was good old days when that actually mattered. But nowadays, I'm not exactly sure what people do. Apparently, they just, I don't know, cry about money. But congrats on the build, bro. That is really nice. Congrats on the build, bro. Love when you are able to trade a skill for a skill. That's always the best. When you can just trade a skill for a skill and just be like an even set. Yeah, technology evolves, exactly. At least evolution is nice enough to wait thousands of years. Exactly, you can only do so much. Like, you can only prevent so much before it's like, it's game over. And you can't stop it, you can't undo it. At least, like in tech, it just goes so quickly. You just get, like, oh my God, I'm not about to do another story. I'll just give you the cliff notes. There have been times in my life where I felt like, after every single day, I was getting dumber, right? Because if you don't use your skill sets in certain categories, you lose them. And you would feel like if you're not constantly taking issues over and over and over again, every single day, day in, day out, you would actually not be able to help your own teammates because they are and you're not. So I used to feel that way. And I used to always be nervous that I wouldn't know the answer to a question simply because I wasn't taking them as frequently as the people who were taking the actual questions. You know what I mean? So you have to deal with that within yourself, man. It's hard. It's hard because it's just like, you just feel like you're not adequate enough to be able to troubleshoot these issues anymore. Man, he got torn up and then I got torn up. Okay, that is a thing that just happened. All we know about technology is going to be useless. Exactly. So much technology has become useless after 10 years. Think of the hard drive. How many people still use hard drives? Okay, to be fair, we did have okay, I'm done. We've taken too many. We've been doing this for almost a year now. So I wouldn't even say, I say about 8 months. 8 months, and then I would say 4 months professionally because we were still trying to figure out what we wanted to be and all that kind of stuff. But we've dealt with customers that did not want to get rid of their hard drives. And they're like, hey man, I don't care if this hard drive don't work, bro. I don't care if you've proven that the hard drive is at fault. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it as a pet and put it as a nightstand or something because I'm not getting rid of my hard drive. So you do have those people who just can't get rid of old technology. And I get that. I definitely get that coming from a person who still keeps a Zotac 1080 Ti Mini because it was one of the best graphics cards ever created. Bro, if you get hit by that charge, it is your fault. You got a dash, I got a fade. If you get hit by that charge, you have nobody to blame but yourself. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Brian, this is a repeat. He said, how do I fix my controller? And he said, I just bought Jurassic World Evolution 2 on Sunday, and I put the disc into my PS4. The game downloaded its data into my console, and then the DualShock 4 controller I have used for over a year stopped working. It just shows a white light on the part that would normally be a blue light other times the white light would be flashing. So what he's talking about is on the PS5 controller, these accents right here, and on the other side, those accents, whenever you're trying to pair it, if it starts to blink flashing white, it usually means that either the controller isn't connected to the PS5 or something is going on with the signal or there's no input for the HDMI. I have also tried pressing different buttons on the controller while it was connected to the console while an official PS4 charging cable. I think this is also the one where he said he actually did press the reset button. Let me see, and then plugged it back in. I unplugged and plugged it back in. I don't know how to fix it, but I just really want to be able to play. Okay, question. What happens if you plug the controller directly into the PS4, old or new controller? Do they work? Also, instead of pressing the reset button underneath the PS4 or 5 controller, hold it down for 10 to 15 seconds to see if that does anything. Let me know how that goes. So what I'm referring to is, we'll do camera B. We'll do B close. So on... See that little hole right there? That is the reset button for the PS5 controller. And all you have to do is hold that down and it would actually do a reset. It's the only controller that has that. So he said, and I said that, and then he said, I connected the new controller to my PS4 using an official PS4 USB 2 charging data cable. Jesus Christ. That's probably what that old dude did on that other case. I held down the reset button for 15 seconds and a white light was flashing for a little bit. Now the light is like a light orange color. The orange light is slowly fading in and slowly fading out. I have waited and now both my controller and PS4 console have been turned off automatically. The problem I'm having with my controller still hasn't been fixed. Okay. So when you have it connected directly, so when you have it connected directly, does it control the PS4? Also, when you power the console on, do you have a picture? The PS4 and PS5 will shut themselves off or go to sleep in the event that it does not detect an HDMI signal. So it's a possibility that he's not detecting a signal, therefore the controller's not coming on. But the fact that it's going to orange and then white, orange means that the PlayStation itself is turning off. That usually means that it's paired. So whenever you see it going orange or it's going white, orange means that it's pairing or it's off. Blinking white means that it's pairing. Orange means that the PlayStation is off. So I think that he may have actually been paired. It's just that he can't see a picture. So I think that may be what's happening here. And let's go ahead and say, what happens if you swap your HDMI cable and try to plug in the PS4 into a different input on the TV? Congratulations, you received 100 messages today in Restream chat. Yay! Epic reset. Yo, he's already reset, so I'm not even about to bring it up. But I swear, if he brings up reset, actually fix it, I'm just gonna be mad at myself. Alrighty, so yeah, I think I would say that. So you have it connected directly. Does it control the PS4? Also, when you power on the console, do you have a picture? What happens if you swap your HDMI cable and try to plug in the PS4 into a different input on the TV? Yeah. So let's troubleshoot it as if it was an HDMI signal issue. And because you don't have a picture, you think that it's actually not connected, but it really is. The fact that it went from orange to white makes me think that there's a possibility that your PS4 controller was connected. You just didn't have a picture. All right, Brian, keep us posted, man. Alrighty, so this is gonna be the last group for today. What time is it? 9:06. Oh my goodness. All right, but we only got 5 more customers left to help, so let's do it. Alrighty, so this is from Rockstar Player, connection issues. Hey y'all, my PS4 Pro decided to take a dive off the deep end and could use some help. As of recently, my Wi-Fi has been acting up, but through the console itself. What I mean is, for example, I log on and it says I'm online. A few moments go by and my Wi-Fi starts disconnecting and reconnecting. I've tried resetting the router, restarting the PS4, even tried using a hotspot, but still can't fix the issue. Anything helps at this point? Thanks. Okay, well, how about plugging in directly? What are you able to plug in the PS4 Pro directly into your router with an Ethernet cable? I would try this and let us know the results. Also, when you go to settings, system, oh my goodness, system, network, and do a network test, what do you get? For those of you who do not know what I am referring to, that is PS5, you up? Oh no, do I have his issue? No. Alrighty, so that is going to be here. Yes, I know you're on the verge of dying, but we're on the verge of being done. So system, and oh, I'm sorry, I was actually thinking about the Xbox. The Xbox is under system, but here it's under network. So settings, network. And then from here, you can actually do a test internet connection. That's what I'm referring to. So I said that wrong. It was under network. So I can just delete this whole thing, actually. Settings, network, and do a network test. What do you get? Exactly. Alrighty, so that's what you would do there for the PlayStation there. See exactly what you're getting and try to plug in directly to see if that helps. I love Lifeweaver on May's ult because it makes May so weak because you could just pull out whoever gets caught, or you can just use a platform under them and lift them up so they don't get caught by the actual freeze. There's so many things you can do, but Brig should not take that fight. And I should not help that Brig take that fight because I'm going to get smashed. And yeah, got smashed. I used to be like that though, man. I used to be Brig and take those kind of fights against tanks back when she was stronger, but now, no, you'll get destroyed. Do you like to sleep with rain sounds? Personally, I like it. You know, I thought I would. Okay, for a while, I used to like sleeping with fan noises because it made me feel like when I was a kid or whatever, and I would always sleep in front of a fan. I would always wake up sick, but apparently that's what they did back then. So, it's peaceful when I sleep under fans, and if I get my hair cut and there's a fan, I'll go to sleep. It's almost always like that. Like it never changes, no matter what happens in my life. If you cut my hair and put a fan on, I'm going to sleep. I don't care what happens, or if you give me a fan, I am out. Like I guess it's that childhood. I guess people feel that way, especially like with like rain and like anything that's calming and peaceful. Like for me, it's a fan. As of right now, a fan is actually going on, but it's not making me sleepy because this whole thing is keeping me off. But all I need is like a fan and I'm just out like a light. Okay, so Rockstar Player, we helped 4 more people left to help. Okay, well, this isn't a person that needs help. Slate AQ gaming workstation build. Okay, let's check this out. You deserve our attention because you made a video. Oh, it is sound. Hold on. I done took my headset off. Hold on. I want to hear it too. I like his Lazy Susan. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I approve. How do you... Wait a minute. The power button is on the back and you have a USB-C on the back? Is that what he had? Hold on, let's go back to the beginning. Make sure I'm not tripping. That's a USB-C, 3.5 millimeter audio and mic. Power and 2 USB 3s in the back? Huh. Well, that's interesting. Well, then where is the motherboard? Hold on, bro. You got to show this to me again. Okay, so the motherboard is here. Oh, I see. So the motherboard is actually facing downward. So because it's facing downward, he created a USB cables in the back so that he could just hook it up. And I'm guessing he can also run his graphics card cables, like his display and HDMI, through that little hole insert in the bottom. So it's going to be essentially like the oh goodness, what is it called? Like the oh, I can't even think about it. It's literally another room. But NZXT H1, those kind of things. But basically, the graphics card is at the bottom, so you have to run a cable essentially, and you have to use right angles. So that's essentially what he has. That's a really nice build, bro. Congratulations. That's a nice build. That case is not the usual small case. Yeah, it's a medium size, and you kind of have to go this route. Like, speaking of which, this guy, camera B, can you please show them? This is the Velcase V3. So Velcase Velka 3. And I am actually going to create a build in this. And this is going to be something that I'm going to be doing here pretty soon. I actually bought this one with the power supply. What's cool about this guy, and the reason why I want to do a build with it, even though it's kind of considered an older chassis, but this guy fits in a backpack, a very particular backpack that fits it perfectly, that I want to make a video about, that I don't think people know about. And it is really, really cool because it's essentially a camera bag, but it can also fit your computer case. So that is actually one of the guys that I wanted to take a look at one of these days. It's been kind of hard trying to keep track of everything and trying to keep up to date, but this is one of the guys that I do want to take a look at. But I feel you, man. Some of those ITX cases start to look like mid towers, and it's just like, well, what's the breaking point that you consider something to be a mid tower? Is it a mid tower when it's heavy? Like, is it a weight base? Is it like 20 pounds or what? And some of those ITX really start, like, if you think about the NZXT, what is it called? Phantom, or hold on, I know it. It's gonna come to me. NZXT H210. That's exactly what it is. So if you think about like things like the NZXT H210, like this guy here that nobody can see because I obviously did not make that big enough. This guy here is considered to be an ITX case, but this guy is freaking huge. It's one of the bigger cases that you can get, and it only has 2 slots, but it is one of the biggest ITX cases that you can think of. And the way I've always looked at ITX, carryable umbrella. I mean, I've always looked at ITX as like, well, what's the point of making an ITX case and make it smaller when it's just as heavy and just as big and bulky as a mid tower? At that point, just make a mid tower. At least you get more slots. And you also have the ability to go micro ATX or ATX. If you're going to go full size ITX, make it small and portable. That's the whole point, where you can travel and put it in your backpack and go somewhere. And you know, that's the whole point of it, for it to be actual portable. This thing isn't portable at all. This thing is the same size as a mid tower. So I've always never liked it. I thought it was really attractive looking because they have different colors and all that kind of stuff, but I could never bring myself to buy it. So of all the ITX cases that I have, that is not one of them. I just can't do it. It's like, bro, it's a mid tower. Call it a mid tower. It's not an ITX case. I don't care that it can only fit an ITX motherboard. It's an ITX. It's the ATX case or a micro ATX case. It's the same size, so you might as well just call it that. But still, did I say congrats to him? He deserves it. Congrats, bro. Nice build. Congrats, bro. Nice build. Like the USB ports in the back. That is nice. Congratulations. Someone will it microwave videos incoming. Yo, I've seen people make microwaves into computers, and it exhausts heat and everything. So yeah, I like the creativity that people have. Like I've seen, like there have been ones where we've seen them and they're like cars, but they're like a computer in the car. And that's kind of cool. And the heat is actually blowing out the exhaust of the tailpipe. Like I've seen that kind of stuff. So yeah, it gets crazy. And those are the kind of builds that I really like seeing, even though I would never make one, because I just feel like it's just gonna overheat on me. The graphics cards I have, you're asking for problems. Okay, last three. This is from Rhinoceri. Oh my goodness, I said that right. Rhinoceri. Rhinoceri says, that 100% sounds like a Pokemon. What's the best game with a winter setting? I just love games in general if they're in winter season with snow. I played a couple of games which in some parts they had a winter setting, but I like to know if there's any really good ones. Are you insane? God of War Ragnarok. God of War Ragnarok. Enough said. Is there any others? Snow settings and PlayStation? There probably is, but the most recent one that I did was Ragnarok. Oh, The Division. The Division. That's true. Last of Us, but forget Last of Us. I'm still kind of jaded about that. Mario 64 and go to the snow level. Yo, what is that? That's is it the second one? It's the one that's over there in the corner where you can go and race the penguin and all that. So yeah, you can be like, you can get the emulator and go Super Mario 64 and go to that penguin level. Yo, that was the dope level though. You gotta admit, like where all those stars were and racing that doggone penguin, that was probably some of the best times I had at 11. I got 19 stars so far. Is there really 19 stars there? Like there were so many stars there. Like just racing that penguin was just, it was such a good time. And re-racing them backwards and whatnot. It was good times, good times. All right, let's go to the next one here. So this is from Sweden. And Sweden writes, NVIDIA 1080 Ti drivers get hung up and crash anytime I open a game. This is a repeat. And I said, well, I would say to roll back the drivers because it appears that it started 2 to 3 days ago after they updated their drivers. And I said, try to roll back the drivers. Also, if you by chance overclocked your memory, I would suggest removing the overclock temporarily to see if it resolves the issue as well. I have tried using drivers from early February and I have no overclock on my GPU. I said memory. Okay. But what about the memory? Is this overclocked in your settings? Also, what kind of processor do you have? If he has a 1080 Ti, then it's highly unlikely that he has a processor with integrated graphics, but anything's possible. Is this overclock in your settings? What kind of CPU do you have? What else do we want to know on that? It's just I have 19 stars playing on an emulation. Yeah. I want to get the Ioneo that we talked about yesterday. I want to get emulators on it so that I can start playing some of the older games. But at the same time, I also want to record the older games because we need more content in the background. So I need to record the game and play the game. And I'm not sure if I can record a game and play a game with the same level of resolution on the Ioneo. So that's currently where I'm at with it. It's like, okay, well, I want to try to record and play a game at the same time so that we can use it for background content, but we'll see how that goes because they're asking a whole lot from a 5600G or 5600U or whatever it's called. What kind of CPU do you have? Yeah, we'll go with just that. I still want to see what happens when he downclocks his memory, make sure that it's not overclocked because his memory could be what's causing the problem, but also trying to figure out what kind of CPU he has, because if he has something with integrated graphics, we can try to bypass the graphics card, connect directly to the motherboard and see if he gets a picture and see if everything works and he doesn't have any problems and it doesn't crash. But I'm thinking that he may have to do a fresh uninstall and reinstall of the drivers. He said he tried to roll back. Let's actually go ahead and add that also. And also add the reboot because we're not getting burned. Also, could you try a reboot of the device as well as a full uninstall / reinstall of the graphics drivers? And just the random ROMs Reddit and get the mega thread for the ROM. Yeah, I can't say that. I can't say that. I have no idea how to get ROMs, nor will I ever know. Please, Nintendo, do not come after me. Also, could you try a reboot of the device as well as a full uninstall and reinstall of the graphics drivers? Yeah, that's what I would go for this one. Try to uninstall, reinstall. Could you? Now, of course, anybody who wants to gripe could gripe and say, okay, why don't you tell them how to do a full clean wipe, right? With DDU, display driver uninstaller. You could, but then you'd have to teach them about display driver uninstaller and try to teach them how to boot into safe mode in order to run the program. I don't really want to do that. I hope that they know. If they don't, it's okay. But it's not enough for me to actually go in that realm, because some people, it's really hard to teach a person that you're not talking to how to get into safe mode if you're not controlling their computer, because sometimes they might not be able to get there and you may cause more problems than you actually help create or actually help fix. So it's not ideal. I would rather them just do a full uninstall and reinstall and see if that fixes it. And if DDU fixes the issue, I'll take that L. You see what I'm saying? Well, it may be an assist trophy, but I'll take that L. That's an L I'll take, because trying to teach somebody that can cause more problems than it can help. You know what I mean? Yeah. Already bought Mario 64 and DS before, so I'm safe. Yeah, that's true. It'd be like, hey, when I was 7, I bought this game, okay? I have no idea where it was because I didn't have all my motor skills yet. But I did buy this game from you, Nintendo, so please do not sue me. My mom, okay, you can ask her. I bought this game with my allowance when I was 7. You cannot then say I don't deserve this game, sir. Just gotta let Nintendo know. Like, hey, man, when I was 7, man, this game was mine. Alrighty, what fits in the NR200p standard version? Well, the 4090 Founders Edition. That would be the answer to your question. Oh yeah, RTX 4090 Founders Edition. Okay, so he doesn't need my help at all. I wish I finished my NR200p max build, and this is just straight text and nobody cares. Max build, and overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Temps are fine as well. I would love to build this also a white case instead though. It would be nice with a ATX 3.0 PSU as well. I felt that way too until I saw the price, and I was like, there's no point when I already have like 6 PSUs that are all gold or better, and there's just no point in me buying a ATX 3 PSU because I want a single cable. That was just stupid. So that's the reason why I didn't go for it. But he wants a Loki SFXL 850 watt. Please don't look that up. It's not cheap, but not sure if it fits or not. Same goes for AIO cooler. Which one will fit? Not going with air cooler. Currently have the RTX 4090 and a 7800X3D with the 6000 megahertz of RAM, or 6,000 megahertz speed for his RAM, but he didn't say how much RAM he had. It all fits on the NR200 if that's what you're asking. Up to 280mm AIO will work. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say on this one here. I mean, the man already has a 4090 Founders Edition. There's not a whole lot more that he can put in here that would actually make it better. I mean, he's already at the best, you know what I mean? And a 7800X3D would probably give him everything that he wants, because the 7800X3D is excellent at video games. So there is no point in replying, and that, my friends, is our last issue. Whew, what a day. I went down memory lane. We talked about technical issues and my life and what happened. How did we get to where we are? But overall, everything has been pretty good. I'm glad we helped so many people here. We'll see what they say tomorrow. And if you like this video, go ahead and like button. If you really like Inform, go ahead and subscribe. I love you either way. Take care. All the best. And bye. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.